window cleaners that got called out to do an estimate here in this mobile park community, and this video is more of an informative video, how to save yourself some headaches or maybe shedding some tears. So I'm going to be going around this house and I'm going to be pointing out some tips, things that might be wrong with the home. So you may want to bring yourself like something to write on, a sheet of paper, a pen or pencil, so you can be able to jot down, and later on you can show the customer the things you found, and that'll show your professionalism and they'll really appreciate it. Okay, so let's go around the house right now and start walking and doing this estimate. Okay, before I start walking around this home, first rule of thumb, and very important, if you come up to the customer and the customer just says automatically go ahead and get started, that's a big no-no. Always insist on doing an estimate, because if you go ahead and do the work, it's going to cause you trouble later on. There could be some kind of problem where they're not going to like the price, something like that, and you're going to get very upset because you're going to end up lowballing yourself and doing the job for a lot less than you thought. Okay, so that's the number one rule of thumb. Always insist on doing an estimate. Okay, so let's start walking around this home, and the first thing I do when I look around at the window panes, if they are really dirty, because I'm gonna have to charge like a first-time fee for that, you know, because time is money, as you know. So any type of extra work that you have to do is going to take you longer. So that's the first thing I do, is look to see if there's any kind of extra dirt, maybe paint overspray, things like that in that nature. Okay, so then I go around looking at the screens. Now if there's any bent screens, jot that down so you can later tell the customer about the bent screens. There could be many possibilities. Either the owner tried to clean the windows, they didn't know how to remove the screens, or maybe a window cleaner that didn't know what they were doing, didn't know how to remove the screens, and they bent them. So that's another thing I look for. Like for example, here it is. See how that's bent screen there? So I jot that down to later tell the customer. Okay, let's go around seeing what other things we can see. That there, it looks pretty good. Same with this window pane. Now I noticed that there might be things in the way. Always remove things to the side if you're going to be cleaning the window. That's one thing you don't want to do, is hit something that's valuable with your pole or knock something over. So always move things as best as possible away from where you're window cleaning. Okay, here I see these oleanders here that are very strong, and it's in front of the window. So I'm going to show you later on a tip that you can clean these windows, just in case there might be paint overspray or something that you need to remove off the window. You just can't get in front of this window, and I'm going to show you a tip on that one too. So you can see right here too, these screens are bent, so you're going to have to tell the homeowner about that too. Now you might come across panes that might have a broken glass, maybe a BB, someone shot a BB at it. It could have been the gardener, with their weed whacker hitting a rock and broke the glass, whatever. That's one thing that you want to inform the customer, is that you cannot touch that glass, because there'll be a possibility that when you apply pressure to the glass, it might shatter it completely. Okay, so keep in mind about that too. Okay, so I'm walking around this house, just checking out things, and that looks pretty good. There's nothing really wrong with that. Those paints look pretty good. That looks okay. There's nothing wrong with these panes or the screens. Now I don't know if you can see in this shot right here, but on the bottom of the frame, there is a slight dent on that frame. So you want to jot that down to let the customer know. Okay, that looks good. And that looks good. I'm going to show you a tip how to save yourself some trouble or some headaches, how to properly remove screens. But first I'm going to show you the improper way to remove a screen. You never want to remove a screen or pry a screen from the middle part of the side, because there can be a possibility that you can bend the frame. Also from the middle part, you don't want to pry the screen from the middle part, because there can be a possibility you can bend the screen. So here's this proper way to remove screens. These are the strong points of the frame of the screen. You want to pry the screen from that strong point. If you're going to be taking off from the side, you can pry it this way and remove it. Or if you're prying it from the bottom, this is the strong point here to remove it upwards and to remove the screen. Okay. Another tip is that if there's any, for example, if there's springs on the top of the screen or on the sides, you can push on the side wherever spring there is, and that'll help you to pry the screen off on the strong points. Okay. Okay, as you can see through this bush here, there's no way I can be able to clean this pane. The branches are really tough. There's no way I can push these branches to the side. So that's why I carry Sörbo's pivoting paint scraper with me as part of my arsenal of window cleaning tools, because I can be able to pivot and scrape the glass if there's any kind of debris or any kind of paint overspray on the glass. But a rule of thumb too is that you want to see if the window is soft glass, because they're starting to put really soft glass nowadays. So you want to use another method to remove any kind of overspray or paint, using maybe a quadruple steel wool, and putting it on a scrub washer or something that you can be able to apply it to, so you can be able to scrub the glass. Okay, but this type of glass here is not that type of soft glass, so I'm able to use the paint scraper, Sörbo's pivoting paint scraper, on this glass. So what I can do is reach over this bush and pivot it to the side and be able to scrape upwards, just like this. And you always want to have soapy water so it can glide across the glass. You never want to scrape glass while it's dry. Okay, so now if you want to do sideways, you just pivot this way like this and scrape like this to the side, and that will help you to be able to get to the pane if there's any kind of object that you cannot remove or move out of the way. Very handy tool. Okay, good tip there. Hey, thanks a lot for coming along with me on this estimate. Hopefully these tips can save you some headaches or maybe some tears. All right, don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like the video, and don't forget to subscribe. Take it easy.